Good morning. This is Dr. Brickner, and I have a special message for seniors, especially seniors that want to graduate this summer. And that is the standard UCF trap that everybody talks about. You cannot finish. We have to defeat that. Actually, you have to defeat that so that you can finish. Uh, to do that, it's going to require steady work in this course for the next 5 weeks. And I can see the amount of time that every student spends in the web courses area. Okay. We have an activity log that looks a little bit like this. This is a real slice of it, except I replaced the names and stuff and the ID numbers. And what I look at is over here. The total activity, um, measured in hours, minutes, and seconds. And then the time of last activity. Okay. And there's even more detailed information that I can access. But this is, um, when I'm looking at a student and how hard they're working, if it ever comes up, this is what I look at first. Okay. Now these two guys, um, they both got some hours in, 3 hours and 2 minutes and 24 seconds for the first one. 9 hours, 12 minutes, and 17 seconds for the other one. And they both worked on Sunday. Looks like the second one worked until in the midnight hours, burning the midnight oil, early Sunday morning. So now here's a bigger slice, and this is actual students. And now this one I've totally removed the names. But what this shows you is that there's a wide variety of activity in students. For instance, this student up on top has almost 6 hours in the course area. So reading the textbook, doing homework, looking at discussions, participating in discussions, etc., etc. The next student down is really blazing. They got 26 hours. They're really working hard, which is good. Now, the third student down here, that's 6 minutes and 48 seconds in the first week of classes. Right? So that's a disaster because we only have 6 weeks. And if you only get 6 minutes in the first week, last week, uh, you know, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. And this is even worse. 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Think you have a nice day. That's what that is. And then, here, go back here. Here's the most ridiculous one. The student hasn't even showed up in the first week. Zip zap zobo. So that's these last three at the bottom of this slice of the activity log. That's a disaster. And in my experience, there are many seniors that do this, and that is why you guys get this special admonition. And the other people, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, uh, they can make the same mistakes, but not as often as the seniors do. All right. So if this is you, you've got a lot of stuff to get squared away. All right. Now you gotta stay on pace. That's the main thing. That's what this this diagram here um, shows you the pace of 5 students. Here's some guys keeping the pace pretty good. Here's the last three here. They're not really keeping pace. So they're going to have to study hard this week. And that is a good way to get a low grade or to totally blow it. Right? So you got to stay organized. You got to stay on this, get on the pace. Right now, I've created a few tools for you to use to stay on pace. One of them is the schedule. I started it as a schedule for the exams, but I put a bunch of other stuff in there. And in this one, you can see that I've given you kind of a sample pace for looking at the lectures. The lectures are the most important thing that you can study this summer in order to pass Astronomy 2002. They have primary importance. Focus on the lectures and then secondarily look at the homework and the readings because the homework and the readings are meant to support lecture, not the other way around. Right? I know a lot of people are used to memorizing the textbook. Whatever the textbook is in your other courses, that's going to be, you're totally getting a horse before the cart if you take that attitude. Anyway, so here's the schedule. I've got it all mapped out for all 6 weeks, 8 weeks actually. One to start before the semester. Last week, week one. This is week two. And it goes all the way down to week 7, which is my week of getting grades in. Anyway, you can see in yellow, each yellow panel is a midterm. And then down at the bottom of the page, you'll see the final exam in a black panel. And you'll see that, a few other notes. We're going to have some mini lectures and other things to study. But you can look at this and keep on. This gives you a good sample of how to keep on pace, how to keep on track. The other thing that I found seniors and other students do is, you got a job off campus and you blow an exam, you don't even get to it because you didn't get your schedule cleared at your job. Okay, and you've got to do that too. We've got a huge bundle of students in this online section. Just enormous. So we have to keep to the schedule, and there's no deviate. There's no makeup. You got to you've got 18 hours on those midterm exam days, similar amount for the final. So even if you work 2 shifts, 16 hours, you still got a couple hours at least for taking a midterm. The final, you're going to need an hour and 70 minutes for the final. Oh no, that's going to be a mini final this year. But you still have the same window of availability, 18 hours, and you got to do the final. There's just no, you know, you got to do everything. All right. We have the best 2 out of 3 midterms that we keep. But believe you me, you want to take all 3 midterms because if you don't, you're stuck with the only 2 that you have. And what if you blow? What if you blow off exam 1? Oh, I'll just get exam 2 and 3, and I'll hit them out of the park. Yeah. What if you don't? Then you're stuck with exam 2 and exam 3. So get on the scoreboard, get on the schedule, stay on the schedule, and get it squared away. So the mission control page also has readings, kind of a rough pace of readings and homeworks. And it's roughly the same schedule as I would give in a lecture hall class, except for the fact that all the homework is due the night before, 11:59 p.m., the night before the midterm. And so here's the yellow panel for midterm exam 1. So now that one doesn't have a date, but everywhere else it does have a date. If you look on the syllabus page, you'll see dates for everything, including you'll see the dates in several places on the syllabus page. So familiarize yourself with that. Familiarize yourself with the test schedule page, that nice little table. Familiarize yourself, of course, with the mission control. And all 3 of those pages are slightly different looks at the semester. And of course, down at the bottom of the syllabus page, you have everything. And there'll be more homework as I assign it. I've got homework set up, but I haven't published it yet. And when it's published, you'll see it down here at the bottom. And you'll see it in the mission control page. You'll see it on the quizzes page too. The other thing you better get going with is the honor lock practice quiz. I didn't put a slide in for that. But boy, howdy, if you screw up, there's nothing I can do to help you with honor lock because I can't communicate. You can't, I can't communicate with you if you're stuck in honor lock. And the first time, everybody's a little bit nervous and a little bit rickety and kind of shaky on getting into honor lock. So that's why we have the practice quiz, all right? And it's no big quiz. It's just like 5 questions, I think, but it gets you practice on how to get into honor lock, which is the big stumbling block. Getting your scans, testing out your microphone, your ID card. You got to scan your ID card. You got to hold it up to your webcam, all that stuff. Now, if you've taken honor lock before, which I'm guessing a few of you have, then you probably already know how to work it. But if you haven't, get your you know what in there and take that practice exam at least 2 or 3 times so you can see how it works. You got like 20 attempts that you can use. All right, so you got plenty of attempts that you can use. Just go in there and especially use the built-in calculator because you cannot use your regular handheld calculator during the midterms and the final. You will be allowed to have a piece of scratch paper that you can use and a pencil, of course. You'll be able to take it in a loud area, a noisy area like your apartment if you have mischievous or troublesome roommates. You can even take it in a public area like a Starbucks. All right. So anywhere that has ultra solid internet. Because if something goes, this goes for exams even without honor lock. If your Wi-Fi or your internet goes down, there's nothing I can do. You just have to take it in the chin. That's been the policy, the UCF policy for years now, and you know even with honor lock it holds. The other thing I want to mention is that um, at the end of the semester, you want to have as many points as possible, of course, right? But you can't get points after the final exam, all right? And every semester, I get messages like this, not from Justin Bieber, but this is a real message from a student last semester in astronomy 2002. And the student, is, kind of trying to butter me up with nice words about how much he likes the course and everything. But, I kind of ignore all that stuff. Um, and the student submitted the final, got a 72, blah, blah, blah. 3 points away from an A. I'm aware this is of no relevance to you, but I was wondering, which is wrong, it is of relevance to me, but I was wondering if there was any way at all I could obtain these 3 points to receive an A. My GPA is of extreme importance to me, and if there was an opportunity, I would gladly take it. And of course, this kind of thing after the final, no way, no way, no way, Jose, because it's completely unethical. I could lose my job if I did something like that, and I really wouldn't want to do it. It's just completely unethical. I would never do it, and I never do that for students. You know, so you've got to get all your points in before the final. That means you got to stay on pace. All right, so you don't blow midterms. You get all the homeworks in. I mean, homework's a big chunk of points, 50 points for the semester. So you got to get all that done, right? And so what I'd like to emphasize basically is you are the one that is in charge of breaking the UCF curse you cannot finish. You can get it finished. It is you, not me. I'm not in charge of that. I'm in charge of writing exams and, putting up lectures and all that stuff. But as far as performing and getting the work done, that's you, 100%. And some of you seniors, you're pretty good. You know what online courses are like. But some of you, I don't know how many I'm talking to, but there's always seniors that get in this jam. And if you don't get those points, you ain't gonna pass. I won't pass you. I mean, sorry to say, but that's my job. I can't pass somebody that doesn't do the work. It's ridiculous. Okay, so don't even ask about it. And instead of getting yourself into that position, stay on pace and work uh, every day of the week instead of 2 minutes in one week. Right? Don't let that be you. All right, I'll talk to you on the internet. I'll see you in office hours. Come to office hours if you can.